Hi, this is Dr. Steve Vargo, and this is episode 21 of Can I Ask You One Question, where we dive into the minds of industry experts and thought leaders, and we try to learn one critical thing from them that we can apply to our professional lives and maybe even our personal lives. And I'm thrilled to have with me here fellow ICO grad, Dr. Rick Kattouf, who is the owner of Team Kattouf Nutrition Supplements, an OCB Masters Pro Bodybuilder, Doctor of Optometry, and two-time Amazon bestselling author. He's been seen on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox affiliates around the country, as well as in USA Today, Chicago Tribune, Men's Health UK, and Fight Magazine. So, gosh, Rick, that's a lot, man. I'm so happy for your success. We've known each other for a while, and it's great to see you, man.
Yeah, Steve, man, thanks for the opportunity, man. I know we've stayed in touch over the years, and yeah, it's been a while since we've been in school, but again, glad we stayed in touch and been looking forward to this opportunity. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. So Rick, you took your career in a somewhat unique direction for an OD. Yeah. Not all ODs aspire to be professional bodybuilders or start their own nutrition company. Right. But most ODs who own a practice, who own their business, do deal and are dealing with a fair amount of stress. So sure. Obviously there's a strong connection between fitness and stress reduction. So I thought you might have an interesting perspective from your background that can help other ODs. So my question to you are, what are some of the top ways to reduce stress as a business owner?
Yeah, Steve, I just think that's a fantastic question because, you know, stress is that one thing that we can't measure. We can't step on a scale and go, oh, my stress level is XYZ, but we know it's there. And as business owners, you and I both know it can be crippling. You know, I mean, that stress can get to you. We, as business owners, we put a lot of stress and expectations on ourselves to achieve. You know, every day is like, it's a new day, like, oh, we're starting over again. Here we go. And so the stress can start to mount. And then obviously so many things outside of business. We've got, you know, family, kids, whatever people are. So, you know, these things just can start to compound. So yes, reducing stress, there are so many things that we can do. And let's just narrow it down to a few. And I'm going to put top tier sleep, man. And I know people know that, and I know people hear that, but I also know people don't adhere to that. You know, I've been fortunate, you know, when I still have my fitness and nutrition coaching company, but it's very small at this point because the supplement company is where my focus is at. But I was fortunate to coach so many people around the world, and we hear so much about the stress and what to do. And people hear like, yeah, I know I need to sleep more, but no, you need to sleep more, you know? And that to me is one of the biggest things. And, you know, turn off the technology, man. And, you know, when people say, I'm going to call people out on their BS, man, people say, well, I don't have time. You don't have time to take care of yourself. I mean, you have to find that time. The great quote, I don't know, maybe it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, that said it was, you can have either excuses or results, but not both. Right. So if we truly want to reduce stress, man, Steve, sleep has to be top tier because it's that trickle down effect. So many things, positive things or negative things, are going to happen with too little sleep. We're talking about, you know, sleep quality and sleep quantity. So that is going to be top tier. I mean, just from, you know, just how we feel physically, how we feel mentally, our body composition, so many things, again, are going to be either positively or negatively impacted from the amount of sleep we are or not getting. So to me, that's going to be just top tier there. And then close behind that, like it's hard to really put which is top, nutrition. And again, I know people know that, but they're not adhering to. And when I say nutrition, people are like, well, yeah, I've tried a lot of diets. Well, that's my point. And therein lies the problem, right? So diets are a complete disaster. I mean, I trademarked the acronym for the word diet, DIET, disaster, imminent, every time. I mean, that's what a diet is. And here's what's interesting, right? Because we're talking about stress here. People go on a diet to do what? To lose weight, right? To try to feel better. But one of the most stressful things to do is what? Go on a diet. And so it's this tennis match going on, right? They're like, well, I'm going to go on a diet to lose weight. And, again, all the diet, I always say, man, it's pretty much the same thing. It's the contents are the same. It's just the wrapping paper and the bow just might be a slightly different color, but open it up and the contents are the same, whether it's low calorie, low carbohydrate, fasting, this, that, or the other. They're all pretty much the same. They're just kind of recycled over the years with different names. And so people think that going on a diet, because they're like, oh man, if I lose weight, I'm going to feel better. But then the added stress of being on the diet and being in this horrible caloric deficit and not eating carbohydrates and having this brain fog brings on more stress. So what they think they're doing going on a diet to reduce the stress is doing what? It's adding even more stress. So when it comes to, I don't want to minimize it because nutrition is not, I don't want to say it's not easy. I mean, it's pretty basic on the surface, but if it was that easy, it would be that easy. Everybody would be able to follow it. It takes consistency. But are you and I surprised about that? I mean, to get results in anything, business, life, sport, whatever, it's consistency. The only time consistency doesn't work is when we're consistently inconsistent. That's the only time we're going to have a downward. So it's a matter of, there's three key principles, Steve, I try to help individuals with their nutrition. And it's this: the fueling frequency, the fueling timing, and the right balance of carbohydrate, protein, and fat in every meal and snack. If people can start to adhere to these three principles, and we can dive into them quickly. So means this: fuel the body immediately upon awakening. Right there, people are going to go, oh my gosh, man, I don't do that, man. I'll wake up, Rick, I'm not hungry. The excuses will start. And it's like, oh, I don't eat until 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever it may be. And so we have to think about the body and the metabolic rate, Steve, like a fire in a fireplace, right? If we want to keep that fire burning, what do we have to keep throwing on that fire? Fuel, kindling wood, exactly. And so that kindling wood, that fuel for the body is what? It's fuel, food, and the right fuel. But what so many people do is they wake up and they're not throwing kindling wood in that fire, and that metabolic rate is diving quickly. And then over time throughout the day, this is going to lead to just a complete train wreck, because now hormones are out of balance. You get leptin, ghrelin, serotonin, all out of balance, all those hunger hormones, right? Blood sugar, insulin, everything's out of balance. And it's causing these significant food cravings, and the food cravings are leading to overeating, and again, more stress. And so we can see how this stress can continue to build. So if individuals listening are not fueling the body immediately upon awakening, start tomorrow. Because obviously today's the day. So wake up tomorrow, start fueling that body immediately. And then keep fueling the body throughout the day. And I know people are super busy. We're all super busy, but we got to take care of ourselves. Fuel that body every 3 to 4 hours. 4 hours is a pretty long gap, but it's better than going, 6 or 7 hours. So fuel that body all throughout the day, every 3 to 4 hours. There's your fueling frequency. There's your timing. We continue to throw kindling wood on that fire, keep that fire burning. And then the carbohydrate protein fat ratio. This is where the nutrition in the media just throws people way off, because what's every diet about? Low calories, slash carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are bad. Carbohydrates make you fat. No, carbohydrates are key. Steve, you and I both know what's the only fuel that's going to fuel the brain? The carbohydrate, sugar, and so without that, we get all that, people are like, oh man, I'm just in this fog. Yeah, you're in this fog, you don't need fuel going to your brain, So where I like to set people up, no matter what their goals are, obviously in this podcast, we're not going to, fix everything, right? But from a numbers perspective, and there's so many great logging nutrition apps out there that all people have to do is log their food, and they'll see exactly what their carbohydrate protein fat ratio is. And what I suggest people to hit is this: 50% of their calories come from carbohydrate. And we can go plus or minus 5%. So that's a pretty big window, right? And then 25% from protein, and then 25% from fat. And again, plus minus 5% on each end. That right there, with the frequency, the timing, and the right balance of carbohydrate, protein, fat, every meal and snack, I'm telling you, people are going to start to feel better. And when you start to feel better, man, those stress levels really start to come down. So the sleep, the nutrition are huge. Do we have time for one more?
Go for it. Yeah. Let me guess. Exercise.
You got it. Exactly. And the reason I would put this last, not because of its lack of importance, but people go to the gym. I was just at the gym this morning. I train at 3 different gyms, in the area. And we see people going to the gym. We see a lot of overweight people going to the gym, and I'm glad they're going, but I know why they're going. They're going to try to change their body composition, but their body composition is not changing, and they are working hard, man, like really, really, really hard. But why are they not getting the results? I'll tell you right now why. Because their sleep and their nutrition is off. Even if their sleep's on, their nutrition's off. So that's why I didn't lead with exercise, because most people are going to do some type of exercise, whether it's walking, go to the gym, get on the elliptical, get on the treadmill, lift whatever it may be. And here's the key. The exercise, back to consistency, right? 1 time a week isn't going to do it. 2 times a week isn't going to do it. 3 times a week isn't going to do it. We have time. Something is better than nothing. Get some exercise in. But here's where so many people, Steve, will miss the boat. What's the first type of exercise? You and I both know, man. What's the first type of exercise people gravitate towards when they want to lose weight and change their body composition? What type of exercise?
When they want to lose weight?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to cardio or
there you go. Exactly.
Cardio.
They gravitate towards cardiovascular. And by no means am I knocking or am I anti-cardiovascular, because it's good, but they're missing one of the biggest portions of exercise, and that is strength training. Because if they're not going to build muscle, they're not going to burn fat. And so many times they do all this cardiovascular training and end up going catabolic and burning muscle. So hit the weights, man. If people say, oh, I only have 20 minutes to work out, Rick, what should I do? I should probably get on the treadmill, right? No, go lift weights. Okay. Go lift weights, build that muscle. Let's burn some calories. Let's burn some fat. So sleep, nutrition, strength training, man, that's going to help people reduce stress.
I love that you kept this simple, because there's so many crazy diets and theories, and the internet is the wild west of fitness information. And for me, a lot of it just comes back to getting the basics right. I'll tell you a book that absolutely changed the way I look at things, and it's called Why We Sleep. And if you had asked me before reading that book, I probably would have put the order of things the opposite way you described it, is get, exercise. That's key. And then eat right. And then somewhere on that list, on that top 10 or something is sleep. It's kind of important. No, man, sleep is everything. Read Why We Sleep, and you will come out of that book with a completely different perspective, not only on everything, on reduction of all kinds of diseases, on mental health, on even losing weight. They track people who got good sleep versus those that were doing cardio. The people who got better sleep and weren't doing cardio lost more weight. It's amazing. I can't recommend that book highly enough.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I have not read that book. I'm going to start to read that book, or maybe listen to it or get on Audible. But that sounds amazing, because it's like, I know one study, and I don't know if this study they mentioned, but it was something about individuals getting 5 hours sleep versus like 7. And the difference in body composition was amazing. I mean, just that slight reduction in sleep can be a downward spiral, 100%. Absolutely. But it doesn't have to be complicated. Like you said, it is the wild, wild west out there, especially with nutrition and diets.
Awesome. Well, again, great seeing you, Rick. Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, man, they can go to kattoufstore.com. That's where they'll find, you can see Team Kattouf Nutrition on my shirt, kattoufstore.com, and they'll see all the myriad of supplements we have for individuals, from pre-workout, intra-workout, bars, post-workout, proteins, aminos. We got it all to really help people get that nutrition on track.
All right, man. Thanks so much. I'm going to go and make my lunch now with that 50% carbohydrates, 25 and 25. So, hey, man, thank you. And thanks everyone for listening. You can find the show notes for this and all other episodes at drstevevargo.com. Thanks to Rick. And thanks again. We will see you next time.
Steve, thanks, brother. Talk soon, man. Thank you for the time. Bye now.